So I'm making another video about my custom DIY generator setup I've got in my backyard. I've gotten a lot of questions. How did I do it? Why did I do it? This really all stems from 2021-22 when Texas had the snowpocalypse, where for about a week we were down to 0 degrees, snow everywhere, pipes bursting. I had an old Champion generator set up in a wooden box, and it just wasn't cutting. It wasn't a big enough generator to power the whole house. The wooden box that I made after a couple of years started to rot. So I wanted to go with something new, something that would last for a long time, so I came up with this. So basically this is just a plastic resin storage shed. You can get them from Walmart, Home Depot. I bought this one on sale for about $200 and decided to insulate the entire thing. The insulation helps a little bit with heat, but its main purpose is to control sound. And how I accomplished that was basically with 1/2-inch foam board sold at Home Depot. It's fairly cheap. And then some of this aluminum reflective wrap on top of that just to make it look a little bit nicer, maybe help a little bit more with the heat, and kind of cover up the foam board. The foam board is just held in place with spray foam adhesive, and then the aluminum wrap is actually held on by panel clips you use in the automotive industry. They just push right through into the foam and hold the wrap in place. So I do have one giant exhaust fan that pulls the air through it, and that's going to be on this side here, and it's got the louvers, so they're closed whenever the fan is not running, and then they open up once the fan comes on. And then down below I've got the power cord and the propane cable and the exhaust output. Since I wanted this to be completely sealed when I wasn't using it, I have an exhaust flap here and a piece of aluminum threaded pipe that actually goes straight into the muffler, and I just thread that in when I need to use the generator. It just screws right in. And then whenever you're done, you can take this pipe back out after it cools down, close the door, and it's completely sealed tight again. So one thing I like about this generator, it is the Westinghouse 9500 DF. It's a dual fuel, so it runs off of gas or propane. I like the propane option because we don't have natural gas here, and you can store propane for years, and I can have several takes here in the backyard to hook this thing up to. I've got enough propane to probably last this the way we would be using it for a little over a week. So it plugs right into the regulator there. Make sure it's set to propane, and you can start this thing right up. And the other nice thing about this, it does have the 240 volt 50 amp output, which plugs into the house and will power the entire house. It's been about a year since I started this, so it might take 2 times. So once the unit's powered up and everything's running and it's warmed up, you can go ahead and plug the power cable to the generator inlet box on the house. It goes to a generator interlock switch on the breaker panel, which backfeeds the entire house. This is a 12.5K generator. It's powerful enough to power pretty much everything inside this house, including the air conditioner and heat. The only thing that you might not be able to do is run like the hot water heater or the oven at the same time, just because they draw so much power. But you can power every outlet, light, refrigerator, TVs, whatever you like on this thing all at the same time. Not a problem. And like I said, with the amount of propane and gas that I have here, can probably get it by with just over a week with my current setup. This is the generator inlet box. I might make another video showing how that works if you guys are interested in that as well. But as you can see, mainly the reason for the enclosure is to keep it out of the weather and to help with the sound. I do live in a neighborhood, so trying to keep the sound down is crucial. Once this thing is closed, when you walk away from it about to the front or backyard, it sounds maybe like a small lawnmower running. And like I said, most of this is just because of Texas's unpredictable power grid. You guys might remember a couple years ago when we had the snowpocalypse, we had a lot of people die, a lot of homes lost power for weeks, pipes bursting. It was a huge mess. Texas got caught with their pants down for sure, and the power grid has not been improved since then. So got to kind of take matters into your own hands. If y'all are interested in a setup like this, the generator itself is around $1,200, give or take. It's on sale sometimes for as cheap as $700. It really depends on the size that you need. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them.